What's up, everybody? Hold on one sec. I gotta clean this out. That's a little bit better. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Uh, I kind of forego yesterday. The squirrels are getting up this morning. I forego yesterday to give myself time. And y'all let me know if somebody's in here. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Because I don't want to talk and y'all can't hear what I'm saying. 5 by 5. I don't know what that means, but I guess that means you can hear me, Miss Amanda. I forego yesterday because I wanted to get up this morning and talk about something serious. So I'll make this one of my last videos in which I talk about subjects outside. Good morning, Nancy. Outside of gardening, and the story is it comes from a message that I heard when I was a child. I heard of as a child um, of a preacher preaching, and the subject of the sermon was Watchman. What of the night? What it means is that each generation, each um, each time period in human history has watchers, and this is a job that's not given to everybody. It's a job that's not given to all because it's a strange job to watch, to be outside of your regular life, be called to do something this important, and that is to watch and warn the people of impending danger, impending doom. But in this case, the watcher's job in history, so historically, the watcher's job was to set outside of the city. So while everybody else was in the city, living their lives, going about their daily chores and their daily lives, the job of the watchman was to sit outside the city on the mountainside, and he would look out over the valleys, over the terrain, and he would look for impending invasion, impending armies, impending trouble to the city. And sometimes as armies would approach, what the watchman would do is, to keep from letting the other army know that they knew that they were coming. On the backside of the mountain, they had a spot or a place where, oh hey, Miss Retta, where they would place a flame, and they would light that flame, and then the people on the watch post in the city would see that flame burning way off in the distant yonder, and they would say something must be wrong because the watchman just lit the flame. And then that would get everything into motion, as far as they would be getting information to the king, and then they would send somebody out to go get the message, or they would send like a message man after they light the flame. Then they would send a message to the king saying that, get this message to the king, something is coming. Particularly, that was the job of a watchman in those far off days. But as we read this story, as we understand this story of the watchman, we understand that you can interchange watchman with like a prophet, or seeing into the future in this case, because what we're seeing now is that we still have watchmen. We're going about our days. Hey everybody, hey everybody. I know I can't say everybody's name, but hey, how y'all doing? We're seeing we're seeing the same thing. We're seeing people that are warning us, people that are trying to light that fire up under us to tell us that something is going on. Now there are instances where long time passed. So sometimes these armies would invade, and they would find out, they would send spies to find out where the watchmen were. So that way they could ambush the watchman and kill him or bound him. And that way he was unable to light that flame to let the city know that this invading army was coming. So what they would do was, sometimes if time had went too long without hearing word from the watchman, without seeing or hearing from the watchman, they would send out riders to go check on the watchman, to go make sure that the watchman was still safe. And that's why this question arises, is after not hearing from the watchman for so long, they sent the person, and that person rode up through the valleys, rode up to the top of the mountain. And when the person found that the watchman hadn't been ambushed, because I think that's what's happening now on social media, like YouTube has ambushed all the watchmen, Facebook has ambushed all the watchmen, and they put them in shadow banned us and all of that good stuff, right? And now the people are like, well, nothing must be going on because we're not hearing anything from them. Everything must be good. That's what they think. Everything must be fine because those people have stopped making those videos. The only thing that's happened is not that the people are fine. It's just the watchmen are being jailed. You hear about Facebook jail and all that. The watchmen are being jailed and ambushed and taken away from us. So in this instance, the man got on the horse and he rode up through the valley, and he rode up to the mountainside, and he asked the watchman. He said, "Watchman," and this was late at night. He said, "Watchman, what of the night?" And you can read about this in Isaiah. I think it's like Isaiah the 12th chapter. Just the question. Let me make sure. Isaiah the 22nd chapter. And he said, "Watchman, what of the night?" Now this was something that was should have been it's a joyous message, and it's a message of warning, because the watchman responded. He said, "I'm okay. I'm glad they sent somebody to check on me." But he said, the answer to your question said, "The morning is coming." So you would think, after a perilous time, after a perilous season of nighttime, you got to understand what the scripture means is at nighttime, it's very difficult to do anything. It's difficult to go out at night. It's difficult to work at night. It's difficult to see at night. Night represents that one part of human nature where we're more cautious. Like, um, it's morning time now, but if I was out here at nighttime, every little noise that I would hear, I would jump and I would be more on guard, because at nighttime you have to be a little bit more careful. But when the morning is coming, man, you can walk out and walk for miles. You can see for miles. You can see everything around you. You don't your heart doesn't feel that anxiety as it did if you did the same things at night. So the prophet or the watchman said to him, he said, "The morning is coming." Basically, which means the town can sleep easy now. The city can sleep, the inhabitants, the residents can sleep easy because the morning is coming. But he didn't stop right there. He said something that was very strange to the rider. He said, "The morning is coming, but also the night." Now, this is where the message gets real strange, because, and I'm using some of the message that I heard when I was a boy, paraphrasing some of it. The reason why this was strange to this person is because we understand throughout the course of the day that morning is followed by the noon. and then by the afternoon, and then by the evening, and then there's night. So the idea of the watchman telling the people, or sending this message, send this message back to the king, send this message back to the city, back to the town, back to the people, that the morning is coming, but also the night, was very strange and very puzzling. Because in the midst of your joy, and that's what you're seeing now, and like I said, I'll probably kind of back off talking about it, but that's what you're seeing now. We came out of a nighttime, 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. It seems as though the morning is now lifting. It seems as though things are getting back to normal. It seems, I mean, look around you. It seems as though everything is not back to where it was, but it seems like it's a little bit lighter. The attitude of the government is a little bit lighter, but I'm telling you, the morning is coming, but so is the night. And people hate to be warned. People hate to. I'm not screaming fear at all. I'm not telling you to be afraid of anything. But what I'm telling you is, just as easy as you look around and you think things are getting better, things might just get a whole lot worse. I was watching the alphabets, the C, and then the D, and then the C again, had a meeting, and they recommended that all kids 5 and over, y'all don't put it in the chat, they can go look for themselves, need to get this. And now what they said is they're gonna leave it up to the states. So you know what the state's gonna do, right? The same thing I told y'all before, when people were screaming, it's not approved, it's not approved, I'm not taking it unless it's approved. Then they say, okay, it's approved now. This is what you get when you back off, and people back off, and they silence all the critics, they silence every channel that was in opposition. Some people have been arrested, some people even jailed, and they silence all the watchmen. And then they have these middle of the day, nobody knows where they are meetings, and they're making decisions that's going to affect your whole life while you think everything is going fine. So my call or my cry to you is the same thing that watchman said some thousands of years ago. Is the morning is coming. The morning it looks good, and it looks like it doesn't it looks, but it still doesn't feel right, but it looks as though the morning is coming. But then I got to tell you the next part of it. Though the morning is coming, so also the night is coming. What is meant by that? And I always take these things, these biblical stories, and I make them literal so you can understand. And because I don't want you to be confused. And when you go read that 22nd chapter, it's kind of confusing. But I want to open it up to you. In your life, and this every person that's watching this video right now, in your life, you've had to wake up early in the morning as the night was given away. So you're looking at 5, 6 in the morning. Most times the sun comes up, and of course, with light, darkness has to give way. But there are particular days that you wake up 5, 6 in the morning going to work, And the fog is so blinding. The the heat of the sun mixes with the cool of the earth. And somewhere between the sun and the earth, it causes a condensation that we call a blinding fog or heavy fog. And you'll get those heavy fog advisories. This is kind of what the prophet is saying. This is what the watchman is trying to reveal to the people. He's saying the morning is coming, but so does the night, which means that even though the morning is coming, that there is something else that's presenting such a challenge that it's almost worse than the night. So if you think about it, there are more car crashes in the morning of, or more deadly car crashes in the mornings of that heavy dense fog sometimes than even at night, because even at night you can see. At night you can put on your headlights and you can see 200-300 yards. But when the morning comes and that blinding fog comes, and the watchman is saying, at least at night I could look out and I could see impending danger coming. I could see, I can see the invading armies if they're coming from afar off. But with this fog, with this uncertainty, and so you look at what is fog, you look at it in a spiritual sense, or in a biblical sense, and you can turn that word and you can translate that word into uncertainty. So this is why you get people that get on, and we're seeing something coming, but we don't know what it is. We're hearing ramblings here and there. We're hearing the steps of the army, but we don't know where they're coming from because it's vibrating off the valleys. So everything is so uncertain, to where the person that's listening to the watchman, the person that's hearing the prophet, the person that's hearing the person that's trying to warn them, they're saying, I thought you said that there was an army coming. I thought you said there was trouble coming. I thought you said there was a food shortage coming. I thought you said there was this coming. I thought you said that there was going to be weather anomalies coming. I thought you said all of that. The reason you can never get it right in a blinding fog type of environment is because you really can't see it. Everything is too cloudy. So when people can't get you to get down to a date to when something is supposed to happen, they figure, oh man, here's another one blowing smoke. And so this prophet or this watchman that sat on his wall, he said that. He said, the morning is coming, but so is the night. Let the people know that the morning is coming, that they can wake up and they can walk around and they can go about their daily business and their daily travels. But the night is closer behind the morning than the afternoon is behind it. It's not going to be a go about your day, go about your life as though you would from morning to noon to afternoon, then to evening. Now the time is going to be so short, to where as soon as you feel that daylight, as soon as you feel that you've passed your nighttime experience, the night is going to come again. More trouble is going to come. More peril is going to come. More uncertainty will arise in this world. And there is a blinding mist, a blinding opponent, to where people are saying that they are woke, but they're still blind. People are calling this, we people are everybody's finally getting woke. Everybody's finally getting woke, and the government don't like it. And people are finally, you think if people were woke, we would be going through what we're going through right now? You think if we had 1 million woke people in America, that these recommendations could be coming down like they're coming down? That was a school board in East Baton Rouge Parish in Louisiana. The school board superintendent put on a day of hope for a couple thousand high school students. And this day was called the Day of Hope, where they took some high school students to a church and they paid for it with some school board money. So, they call that taxpayer money. And the rest of it, the church footed. And the kids were to come into this church. And at this church, of course, they played some gospel songs. And of course, they prayed. They're in the church. And the speakers that spoke about abstinence, spoke about suicide prevention, and in the end, they also prayed again to close the meeting, or to close the uh what you call it, not vacation, but what you call it when kids, what do you call it when kids go places during school time? I'm so lost on it. I can't think of the word, and I'm full of words. Field trip. Yeah, so when they got to close the field trip, some kids went home to their parents and told their parents about the field trip. And for about a week, that was an uproar amongst school board members, amongst some parents. How dare the school board take my child to a church? How I dare the school board use taxpayer money? They wanted the superintendent's job because with all the kids that are hanging themselves, committing suicide at school, getting bullied at school, the school board superintendent thought that this would be a great thing. They wanted him fired for a day of hope. Now you think about that. They wanted him fired for bringing kids to the church, listening to church music and praying. But then they want you to go to your kids get on the bus every morning. What you think they're playing on that bus? Worldly music. I've rode the bus my whole life in public school. Not one time did the bus driver put it on a gospel station, but they can listen to the other stuff. You go to the football games, you go to the baseball games, you go to the basketball games. There's no gospel music. You go to the football game, they don't even pray. They do a moment of silence. But right after the moment of silence, what the band starts playing? A church song? So you got to listen to that in every aspect of life. But your kids, one man comes together with a church and says, let's try to get to these youth, these troubled youth, before we lose them to bullying, to suicide, to teenage pregnancy. That way they won't have to worry about abortion. And they want his job. And you tell me that the world is getting better. You tell me that the morning is coming, but I'm telling you, so is the night. Because this is only the beginning. I don't think it's went far enough yet. I don't think the craziness has went far enough yet. It looks like it. You say, man, it's finally they're gonna stop this. They're gonna stop this. This is over. And I don't care what happens in November. I don't care how the government changes. I don't care how government leadership changes, because as I tell you all the time, it's not even about that. It's about something greater than who you put in office now. It's about a it's about an energy. It's about an evil that's been unleashed in this world, that though it seems as though, I don't care if your gas prices go down, I don't care if your food prices go down, I don't care if your wages go up, I'm telling you, the morning is coming, but so is the night. This message, I want to be loud and clear, because after this, I'm going back to my gardening videos. It may be some time. I won't wholeheartedly walk away from warning people, but for a time, I want you to just sit back and watch. I want you, for those people that are here now, I believe that this is the people that God wants to be warned. As things get easier for you, get ready for things to get hard. If you can prepare yourself when things are easy, when things start to get harder, at least for the first few months, you'll be ready for it. But I don't think this is going to last a few months. That's something about the fog is you never know when it lifts. There are some mornings where I wake up and the fog is so thick and so dense to where you like, man, and it lasts for a good while. But then there are some mornings that same thick and dense fog only lasts a little while. So with the night, we understand and we know every night just about how long the night is going to last. But with the fog, with the uncertainty of the fog, it's hard to tell. All we know is that it's hard to see. This is why a lot of your watchmen, a lot of your prophets are being made to feel that they're not called, that their sight is off, is because they're trying to look through the fog and everything is uncertain. The gas prices were up to $3, $4, $5. I'm telling you this. And then people, your watchmen were saying, that's it. You see, get ready for $10 a gallon. Get ready for the world to be over. Get ready for $8 a gallon. I've been telling y'all all along. And then you turn around and the gas is at $2.80. And you're like, that dude ain't know what he was talking about. That ain't no God in that dude. That dude, that's not a prophet. That's not a watchman. I thought this was supposed to happen. I thought that was supposed to happen. But look at the gas slowly going back up. How crazy is it for us as citizens of this country to be told, to be actually told by the media, gas is going to go down around November. Gas is going to go down around the election. And they do it. And they actually do it. Which means that if an election wasn't coming around, the gas would be at $10 a gallon. So this tells me that after the election, I wouldn't even be worried about the election. After the election, they're going to sing you these sweet lullabies. How if you vote for them, the economy is going to get better. How the morning is going to come. How they're going to change all of these bad policies that's been inflicted on us for the last 6 years or whatever they're going to say. They're going to tell you that the morning is coming. But I'm telling you, yeah, the morning is coming, but so is the night. As soon as they get in, as soon as whoever, Republicans, Democrats, whoever takes control of the House or Congress, as soon as they get in, you're going to watch these same policies, these same crippling, uncertain policies are going to keep moving forward. And your life, if you're not ready, and if you don't have real peace in your life, if you're not ready mentally, these people are out to break us all. Property taxes, I just saw this was something I saw in Louisiana. I stay up on Louisiana. I hope that you stay up on the states that you want to live in or you want to go to. They're trying to vote to give the parishes. So here, every 4 years, we have what you call an assessment year. Every 4 years, the assessor is able to raise your property tax based off of the value of your home. They want to change that now. They want to vote to give the assessor power to assess your property anytime he or she deems necessary. So you know what that means? That means every year. That means every year your property tax is going to go up and up and up and up until you own nothing. Just like they said. You might think that you're okay now, but when they start hitting you with all these bills, and when your insurance prices on your home are through the roof, and when you have to get flood insurance mandated by the government and it goes through the roof, and then your property taxes are $5,000 a year, and you're only making, you don't even have 5,000 because you might be making 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year, but your bills and your insurance is so much and the cost of living is so high, you won't have 5,000, $6,000 to pay on taxes on the house. So if you don't have the money to pay your taxes, and they can go up every year, you might be able to hold out 5 years, 10 years, but 20, 30 years of the property taxes going up, I'm telling you, they're telling you about student loan forgiveness. These people are lying to you. They're acting as if the morning is coming. They're acting as if we're finally going to free the people. We're finally going to get you from under all these loans that they shouldn't have given you the money for, because college should not have cost $80,000 a year anyway. To go get a degree for a job that paid 40. To go get a degree for a job that paid $50,000, why would you give me a loan to get a degree that's going to cost me $90,000 a year? And you're the government, you know how much these jobs pay for these particular degrees. It makes no sense. So now you're going to forgive me of those loans because I couldn't pay them anyway. So you say you want to forgive me of those loans, but you're still going to steal it from me. When I think I'm winning, I'm losing. That's what it means by the morning is coming, but so does the night. When you think you're winning, when you think that getting rid of these student loan debts and all these other debts, they're going to pile it on you on the other side. You've already paid student loan debts back through the gas prices over the last 10 years. Gas should not be $3 a gallon anywhere. You've paid student loan debt back 10 years ago. That's why they can just let it, that's why they can just give it away. That's why they can just cancel it, because they've gotten the money back 10 times over. But we don't see it because though we're woke, though this country is full of people that are woke, we're full of people that are still sleeping. Or though they're woke, they still can't see because it's morning time and everybody's getting up. And we got so much technology. We got Google, we got Bing, they got DuckDuckGo. They got, I mean, when I was small, we had Ask Jeeves. We had all of this stuff. We had all of this knowledge at our fingertips. We got so much knowledge that we're so blind. How is that? How is that they can actually put it on TV and tell you, oh, American people, just hold on, because we know when November comes and election time comes, the gas price is going to go down. And we dealt throughout the whole summer with gas prices, $4, $5. Our poor truck drivers that get the food to us, that get all these farm potatoes and all this corn and sugar cane to the sugar mills, get all that stuff. They was paying $5, $6, $7 a gallon. They say, well, just hold on. When election time comes, all that's going to go back down. And as soon as the prices start dropping, you start seeing all these little Facebook memes and all these little tweets about how the gas is going down, and thank the Lord that the gas is going down. Now I can go out and ride. You forgot about they was only doing this because the election was coming. So my question is, what happens after the election? If you bought it, if the only reason you're bringing prices down, you're going overtime, the Fed is raising interest rates. The only reason you're bringing prices down is because November is coming. What happens after November? What happens after December? What happens in January? Right now, it seems as though the morning is breaking. But I'm telling you that tonight, I'm going to look you in your eyes. I'm going to tell you, when you see me doing these gardening videos and you say to yourself, why isn't he talking about what I like to hear him talk about? Why isn't he talking about all these things that's going on in the government? Why isn't he talking about all these things that's going on with these alphabet agencies? Why isn't he talking about these things that's going on with the courts? Why isn't he talking about these things that these governors are doing? Because I'm telling you right now, the morning is coming, but so is the night. I'm warning you right now. So if you ever wonder what I think, and when I'm watching what's going on and I'm not saying anything about it, it doesn't matter what's going on particularly, because it's all leading to the same thing. Not the destruction of this country, but the destruction of you. This land isn't going anywhere. This land may change names. This is going to go from whatever America was to North America. Russia might take over. China might take over. The land is still going to be here. It might change names. They want you. They want the people to suffer. That's the truth. I don't know why. That's why the only answer that I could come up with, I've said months and months and months and months to try to understand, why would the government, why would people, these are people just like us, like they're not aliens. I mean, I used to think they wasn't. They're not aliens. They're just people. Like, why are they making policies to make us so, why are they doing this? And the only thing I could come up with is evil. That these people are just evil. I said to myself, why would YouTube be doing this? Why would Facebook be doing this? Why would these Twitters and these social media platforms, why would they be doing this? And it doesn't matter what platform. You can run to Rumble if you want. You can go to all these other uh, alternative websites and all this stuff. It's all the same. And all these people, all these platforms are all the same. So I just say it got to be the devil. These people, even, you know what's the sad thing? And everybody that watches me know I was born in the church. The sad thing is, even the popular gospel artists and preachers seem sold out to the devil on a large scale. They're going to come in and give you some good sermons, and they're going to give you some feel good messages and all of that. But in the end, the direction of that platform, the direction of that tone and that talk, they're bringing us with the world. It's like the Kirk Franklins of the world. I don't get these people. They want to be so much included with the world. They want to be so much, they want to be filmed shaking hands with the mayors and shaking hands with the presidents and shaking hands with the senators, that they'll sell the church out for a picture, for a photo op. And you look at all these used to be church people, these Mary Marys, like I said, and I don't know in the white communities, but I know in the black communities, these Mary Marys, these Kurt Franklins, these TD Jakes people, they love to be with the church, but they love to be with the world. They go to every party in the world, but then they want to hang out with the church and take the church money. And we think the church is getting better. It's the same concept. The church isn't getting better. It just seems that way. It just seems that the morning is coming. But I'm telling you tonight, It's not dark. You're gonna say, man, it's not nighttime. We got everything we can need now. What do you mean that the night is coming? I'm not talking about that kind of night. I'm talking about that blinding fog. I'm talking about that fog that even though the sun is in the skies, you still can't see. You riding in your car 6 in the morning, you know that the sun's supposed to be up, but you can't see in front of your car. You got your lights on, you got your fog lights on, and you can't see 5 feet in front of you. And you got to drive 10, 15 miles an hour because you can barely see the road. That's what the prophet was talking about. That's what he meant when he said the morning was coming, but so is the night. Parents don't know if they're coming or going. They got so many things to do. They got you involved with so many things. So many things at school. You got so many apps on your phone. The dance team is sending you a message on the app. You got to download the app for the school now. They're sending you messages to the apps. You got to download apps for the football team. They want money. Everybody wants money. Then I just saw somebody scroll about it. Then you go to your light bill, and it used to be $100. Now it's 400, and they telling you to vote for them for student loan forgiveness. Who cares about a student loan when somebody's bill has went up $600? Some people are paying $500, and they got light bills, energy bills for $1,200, $1,300. How do you survive? 1 month, you can do it. How do you survive when they're sending you that same kind of bill every month? So in times like this, in times where they're telling us one thing, but we're seeing another thing, we're looking for answers. So we go just like this horse rider. We go up the mountain, through the valleys, through the wilderness, seeking. We're seeking for answers, and we finally find a person, and we ask them, "Tell me what's going on, King. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you think." Then I say, man, we're living in a good time. I won't lie to y'all. We're living in a blessed time. So they say, well, that means the city can sleep peacefully, right? That means that the people can relax, right? Because you're saying we're living in a good time, but I'm telling you, we're living in a good time, but we're living in a worse time. I never seen it this bad. It's a crazy thing to say that. And this is what disturbed the people of that day, is because that message is so confusing that we're living in an amazing time, but we're living in the worst time we ever seen. The morning is coming. I can't even see you, right, Lexi. I can't even see my kids' report cards because I'm not downloading that stuff on my phone. I told those people at that school, I told the lady, it was a lady, I said, ma'am, I don't have any space on my phone to download an app. Well, you need to delete some stuff off your phone so you can download this app for your children. I said, ma'am, the stuff I have on my phone, I need. I can't delete apps that I need to put apps on my phone that you want me to put on when y'all could just give me the information. This world is out of control. Uh, Thanks, Fifi, for the donation. This world is out of control. In the best time of our lives, in the best time in human history, we got everything at our fingertips. We're starting to see the worst times. We're going to see what it's like to be told. The reason I don't really do much videos like this is because I don't want to say it. But anyway, you're going to see what it's like to be told you have to. See, Americans don't understand that. You go to some other countries, you go to China, you go to Russia, you go to these Asian countries, and they're used to it. The government tells them to do something, they just do it. No questions asked. You look at, I was talking to a brother of mine, and he said, you got to understand, you look at China and Asian countries, they are communal countries, which means they're more about the country than about the person. That's why China was able to get away with that one child, one family deal, is because your neighbor felt that if that came from the government, it was for the betterment of the whole country. If you had two children over there, they would rat you out. And they would watch the government come take your child, kill your child, and they would still go about their business like they didn't do anything wrong. It's because they believe in country over man, over individual. In this country, we're totally opposite. We believe in individual over country. We believe in individual rights. We believe in individual freedom. But when you get into communist ideology, that's when you start to see your neighbors turning you in. That's when you start to see that stuff that you saw in Chicago, where they had phone numbers you could call when your neighbors are not complying. In the best time in human history, we're seeing the worst of times. You think that uh what's the word I can use for it? You think that 2020 stuff is over? You think that lockdown stuff is over? Oh, we haven't been on lockdown since then. That'll never happen again. You'll see. You'll see. All those things that you think are impossible, it's going to be worse than you could dream of. The jobs. If you don't watch what this Fed, and it's not even a government entity. And this is what we're getting. This is where we're getting killed. This is where the world, the economy, I'm gonna not say the world. This is where this country is being killed. It's every entity that's not sanctioned by the voter, by the people. The Fed, the Federal Reserve, they're not voted in by you and me. The CDC, they're not voted in by you and me. The FDA, they're not voted in by you and me. Well, why in the hell are they running the country? Think about this. The people that's running the country, the Senate, the House, the presidency, they're not even running the country. We're voting them in, and they're waiting on the CDC. For what? We're voting them in, and they're waiting on recommendations from the FDA. For what? What did we vote you in for? Well, the CDC said, well, the FDA said, well, the Federal Reserve said. Nobody voted for them. I digress. How are entities that are not government entities running your country? But the people are so woke nowadays. The media is telling is, oh, we're finally getting woke people in the world. Well, people are so woke. Why are they being run by agencies that are outside the government? If they're so woke, because they've lied to you, and you've been mistaken, that you thought the morning had come. You thought the people had finally got the power to vote in and to vote out who they want, and to change the trajectory of the country. The morning is coming. but so is the night. What you're not seeing is all of these little agencies. You want to know? I told you, CDC is running the country, FDA is running the country, Federal Reserve is running the country. And now you probably forgot, because I know Americans, they throw so much stuff on you. They throw so much information, or they move so fast. You forgot about that 87,000 IRS agents. The IRS is not a government agency. Nobody vote in the head of the IRS. Nobody vote in not one person in the IRS. You forgot that they're going to unleash them this coming year. So you're going to have to be getting audited. You're going to have to be getting lawyers, because they're going to tell you, oh, you cheated. Oh, you didn't put this. Oh, you didn't put that. Oh, you didn't put this. Oh, you tried to get away. Oh, we're going to fine you. And with that, as the IRS, those 87,000 IRS started auditing small businesses, YouTube businesses, Facebook businesses, online businesses, you're going to start seeing people are going to start having to lose businesses, because the taxes that they're going to put on them are going to be unbearable. They're not going to be able to pay $10,000 in overdue taxes. Plus, they're going to tap interest on, because, oh, you got to get the interest. You got to get the interest. But gas is $6 a gallon. But your light bill costs you $1,200. But your water bill is $200. Your insurance on your car is $500. Your insurance on your house is $2,500 a year. Where are you going to get the money from to pay the IRS? Oh, well, you don't pay us. We got to lock you up for 30 to 90 days. When they lock you up for 60 days or lock you up for 30 days, guess what's going to happen now? You're going to lose your job. No job's going to keep you. And then when you get out, because you got locked up for taxes, nobody's going to hire you. You're going to be worse than a felon that then raped and killed somebody. I don't know what to tell you to do. I don't know how to warn you. I hear somebody said, run, escape. I don't know where to tell you to go, because it's a strange thing to me now, to where people tried this in 2020. People left these Californias, these New Yorks, where people thought they was there for politics. People go to California for the weather. People put up with all that stuff that they put up with in California for the weather, not because they believe in sanctuary cities and they believe in having dope needles all over the streets. So they run to Texas, they run to Florida, they've come to Louisiana, they've come to all these other states to try to get away from that stuff. But it doesn't matter where you run to, it's going to follow you. The evil is going to follow you. Many times it's already there waiting on you. So when you got to Texas and you think, oh, I finally made it to Texas, things are going to get so much better here. Oh, I finally made it to Florida, things are going to get so much better here. The morning is coming, but so is the night. You're going to see those states are going to start changing. The same thing you ran from is coming. And you're going to say, what in the world is going on? This is why I left California. This is why I left New York, to get a breather, to get away from these policies, to get away from these taxes, to get away from these regulations. I left that place, and here it is right here again. So I don't know where to tell people to go. I can't tell you go to another country. What I'm going to tell you, go to Africa, go to England, go to Australia, go to Sweden, go to Italy, go to Brazil. It's all bad everywhere. Where do you go? Where do you go? You got these Elon Musk that everybody's loving so much. Everything he says, I don't trust none of these people. That Starlink stuff, there's so many satellites in the sky. You go out at night, you don't even see stars anymore. All those lights you see, most of the lights you see in the sky now are all satellites just watching us. I kind of wish, and this may be a harsh thing because then y'all probably wouldn't know me or wouldn't see me. I kind of wish the first person or the first group of people that, whether it was black, white, that were getting together to make the computer chip, the computer, the internet, I wish somebody would have blew their brains out, because this thing has destroyed this world. Now I understand the reason behind it, even though the devil is using it, I understand the reason behind this connectivity, because the Bible says that this gospel has to be preached throughout all the world. And basically the only way that was done was through this internet. Through the internet, the Bible and the gospel is able now to reach every corner of the earth and the world through these satellites. So I understand the idea behind it. But I've also understood that this thing has ruined us. It's ruined us. It's ruined our children. It's gonna ruin everything following it. Because with the click of a button, they can turn me off right now. Or like they do, is they leave me on and still turn me off. And you can upload all you want. You'll reach no one. You can upload. There's people that were having hundreds of thousands of views. This is what I'm telling you. There were people that were having hundreds of thousands of views per video. Now, 1,500, 500. They didn't do anything different. They're still uploading the same content, and they don't understand. So many content creators are at their wits' end. So many content creators are like, maybe it's something that I'm doing. Maybe I need to change it, because they email YouTube and YouTube say, we don't see anything wrong with your account. We didn't do anything. Well, how in the world a man was getting 100,000 views, but now he's getting 1,500? The people, you mean to tell me that many people just stop watching his channel? That many people just don't want his content anymore? All the Watchmen, slowly. So if you see channels that seem as though, oh well, they didn't take him off. You ever wonder this? And I'm gonna go. I got about 1 minute left. You ever wonder why? And no matter what side of the fence you're on, let's say if you're a Republican, you ever wonder why Fox News is up, getting millions of views, but then somebody else that's posting similar content, the same content as Fox News, you ever wonder why they're getting banned? Why they're getting their platforms jacked? But Fox News is saying the exact same thing they're saying. You never wonder why that's possible? Why they do that? You got to think to yourself. If Fox News is giving me the same information that this channel was giving me, but they yanked this channel down, why don't they yank Fox News down? That's because Fox News is gonna go just so far, give you just a little bit of what Republicans want, but they won't give you the whole truth. See, this individual person that had his individual channel, he didn't care about political correctness. He would give you the whole truth, But now Fox News is going to string you along, give you a little bit, little bit. Same thing with CNN. If anybody on CNN, if any of those people on CNN say the wrong thing, they're gonna yank them. You'll wonder, wait, what happened to him? Oh, he got mad and said the wrong thing, tweeted the wrong thing. He's gone. All the individual watchmen, the real watchmen, they're yanking them. And then you gotta dig through YouTube to find them. And then you ask them, hey man, I haven't seen a video from you. What's going on in the world? What you think is going on in the world? And he's gonna tell you that the morning is coming. Yeah, I appreciate it. But so is the night. I had a couple of them. That's how they do me. That's how they do me. I look at people's channels. This is what trips me out. I look at people's channels and I don't see all this stuff, all these sex sites. Just the channels that seemingly talk a little bit about the Bible or something. They flood my comments with all kind of stuff. I spend so much time going through my comments after videos, taking out this sex thing. That's nothing but them. How can you shadow ban me? You got so much algorithms, and you mean to tell me the algorithm can't pick that up? And I have my thing set to stop any kind of sexually explicit emails or comments. I got mine set so that stuff shouldn't even come through. How do they let that stuff through there? That's what they do me. But it's cool, it's fine. Like people say, this their platform, this their stuff, whatever. That's just more proof to people that think I'm crazy, people that think what I'm saying isn't true. If you can't see what they're doing, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Somebody said maybe I should just only allow subscribers. All they would do is just subscribe and then start doing that. It'll be the same thing. The only the only thing I really hate is that I can't say everything I want to say because I know that I feel that I'm still needed in this world. So many things that I know, that I see, that I can't share. So all I can say is the morning is coming, but so is the night. Everything that goes along with that, everything you see and you watch parents. I'll show you one more. There's a child that died right here in Louisiana. This child had overdosed on, it was either heroin or meth. I think the child was maybe 8 or 9 years old, but the child had been to the hospital. They said the child had been to the hospital for overdose more than the birthdays the child had. That means if a child was 8 years old, the child had been to the hospital for a drug overdose more than 8 times. That child, when that child died, was still in the custody of his mother. Drug addict, drug infested home. Fentanyl. Yeah, I think that was it. Something like that. Drug addict mama. But here you find in this country, it's fine for that person to keep their child, but let you just say, I don't want my child to be shot, to get shots. I don't want my child to do this. I'm teaching my child to live a certain way. They'll come take your child from you. No overdose. Not even one overdose. Your child didn't drink any Clorox. They didn't get into the medicine cabinet. They didn't do anything. They'll take your child. But here's a mother get to keep her child and overdosing the child every year. The child is in the hospital for overdose. Nobody never took the child. And then the child died. Finally, the child died. Finally, the child, I hate to say it this way, but finally the child was put out of his misery because the child was just going to be a drug addicted person, period. Drug addicted child. He probably was already drug addicted. So, you know what? In response to that, instead of Louisiana Health and Human Services, instead of them say we need to revamp our current policies, or not revamp, we need to follow our current policies. It was already policy in place to take the child from the parent. You know what they did? They've now put out the call, use some more of our taxpayer dollars. They're going to hire now over 80 plus nurses. I'm not making this up. They're gonna hire, I believe, I was in the store and I just seen, and I'm just going over stuff that's out of my head. I seen this on a newspaper on the Advocate in one of the corner stores, and I just looked over and like glanced at it, and I was like, that's about right. That's about right. Louisiana is gonna hire about 80 something. I believe that was, I might be even behind on the numbers. It might be more than that, but I know minimum 80 something nurses they're gonna hire now. That means they're gonna find their little friends that are nurses, and they're going to use taxpayer money to pay these nurses six-figure salaries. Well, that was only one child. That was only one child that was going through that. That was only one child that kept overdosing. So what are these 80 something nurses going to do? Because these 80 something nurses are going to do welfare checks on children that don't have nothing to do with this case. So now they're going to come out. They're going to go to the schools, talk to your children. Are you being abused? Is mama smoking dope around you? Is his daddy hitting mama? And you know, a child, I tell my children, don't talk to none of those idiots. All they're gonna do is try to find out, because you know, children gonna tell, just gonna offer up. Children just, they're gonna give them a little lollipop, give them a little cold drink, and child don't know that not to say anything. Oh yeah, yeah, they were smoking. You might have had a cigarette or a cigar. Oh, they were smoking this thing where it was looked like a fat thing. Did it have a strange smell to it, little Johnny? Yeah, it's had a strange smell, Miss Thomas. Now they're breaking in your door, saying that you're smoking dope in front of the children. You're not smoking no dope. They know you're not smoking dope, but they'll break in and take your children, or they'll take them from school. You sitting at the bus stop wondering, where the hell is my child? You call the school and they tell you, you gotta contact child services. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What happened to my child? Something happened at school? We can't give you any information, Mr. King. Just contact child services. Sorry. I tell you. The morning is coming, but so is the night. It's my hope. It's my hope. It's my prayer that those of you, God said that it is not his desire that anybody be lost. Those of you that are worried, don't worry, because worry can't do anything. Like I told you, you'll see me I'll just be lollygagging around this yard doing videos on garlic, doing videos on turmeric. But when you look in my eyes, if you can read eyes, when you look in my eyes, you'll hear my voice saying the morning is coming, but so is the night. And I'll be talking about bananas and citrus and lemons and figs and all of this stuff. But if you look in my eyes, you should see my eyes telling me the morning is coming, but so is the night. Those people in Russia, they didn't think nothing about. Look at it. What you mean a draft? They'll never do that again. We got we got drones and all that. We'll never fight a ground war again. The morning is coming. You don't think a draft will ever be reinstated again? The morning is coming. But so tonight. The only thing different about this draft is the last draft, they took men. This next draft, they're gonna take men and women. The last draft, they took your sons. This draft, they want sons and daughters. That's the only reason they're doing the the man and the woman thing. That's the only reason they're saying women are just as good as men. Women are just as strong as men. Women can compete in the same things. You think that's for your benefit? That's so when it comes time to draft your daughters, they're gonna say, well, what's the problem? Women are just as capable as men to die. And you think you winning something. You think you winning some woman's rights. You're only winning a right for your children to die. Whether you like that or not, whether you believe that or not, I'm just telling you the truth. You think the morning is coming for your daughters. You think your daughters are finally going to live in a world where they're getting equal pay and equal rights and they're looked at the same as men. And I'm telling you, the morning is coming, but so is the night. They're not winning anything. All they're going to win is the right to be treated like a man, to be killed and slaughtered like men. And just when you think you've won all of these rights, and you think putting all the women in oh we got the women on the Supreme Court, we got women in the White House, we got women here, women there, and those same women that you got behind, those same women that you got behind to put in these positions, to put in these offices, the same women are going to sell you out to the devil. And I know people hate when I say stuff like that. You might think that I should love Michelle Obama. But my children go to school where Michelle Obama passed this eat healthy BS through her help. When we were so happy, we got a black president and a black first lady, and oh, they're going to help. But we don't look to see what's going on. Now your children are eating wheat cornbread. They can't even have regular cornbread at school. They can't have regular biscuits at school. Nobody even pays attention. Nobody even pays attention. Have y'all asked y'all children what they're eating? Your children go to school with with phones. Everybody child's go to school with phones. What I want you to do is when your child goes to school, ask your child to take a picture of their breakfast and take a picture of their lunch. You'll be disgusted. For the people you support, turn their back on your children like that. When you think they're helping your children, you thought the morning was coming, but I'm telling you the night is coming. People disgust me. And then what happens is they trick you to supporting them. And when you support them, when you support them and you find out that they've actually hurt the community, you find out they've actually hurt your children, but because you have so much pride that you won't take your word back, you won't take back all that praise you gave them, you won't deal with reality. You won't say, man, I thought you was here to help us. I supported you. I got to take my support back. Instead, we keep supporting them. We keep waiting. Well, we just got to stick behind her. We just got to stick behind him. For what? So they can keep doing the same thing? Mel F just said it in the chat. So what you done now, the kids don't even eat the stuff. Your children come home starving now. So what did it help? You put healthier meal options in the school, but now at least before the kids were eating the food, now the kids just throw the food away. So you got baskets. As soon as children pick up the food, they're throwing it in the trash. So now you got trash cans full of food. For what? You pay for food to come to the school. They don't even cook at the school anymore. They ship the food in. The child picks up the food, throws it in the trash. But I'm supposed to be so excited about what you did and what you accomplished. You didn't accomplish nothing to me. Nothing but accomplish that my children are not starving. So now I got to send my children to school with either money to buy snacks from the concession stand that are healthier than the food you're selling, or I got to fix food to send my children to school with. You didn't do anything but cost me more money. Why am I going to be happy? Because you're a woman? We got to get out of this. Because they're black? We got to get out of this. It doesn't matter, black, white, Asian, all of those people are destroying us. And the church is supporting them. 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 Souls to the polls. Souls. When I first heard of that, I was like, what are they talking about? Souls to the polls? The church is using tithes and offering, the money for tithes and offerings, to get buses together, to pay for buses, to bus people to polls to vote for evil folks. Because the preachers are getting kickbacks. You know, I'm a church person, so I'm not talking about the church. I said the preachers are getting kickbacks. The only time you see a politician in church is when? Tax time. They'll come stand up with, you can't even speak in your own church. You go to one of these churches that are so big, you can't even speak. You go ask the pastor, hey, pastor, can I say a word to the church? No, you can't say a word. But a politician that never paid a dime to this church, never paid tithes, never gave offerings, he'll come up and he get to say a word. A school board member that's against a day of hope. A school board member that goes to church and talks about the superintendent of the school system should lose his job because he sent high school students to talk about abstinence, suicide prevention, anti-bullying, sang some church songs, and pray 2 prayers. That man should lose his job. And that's a lady that I guarantee you, she go to church every Sunday. And get on TV and call for this man's job, and she go to church every Sunday. I thought your job was to get people to church. They don't want to do that. These people look like us. They sound like us. They act as though they are us. Here they go again. Here they go again. If America can get rid of this, if America can stop, if Black Americans can stop following Black politicians, if white Americans can stop following white politicians, if we can just start following people with American ideas, and I know American ideas are shady. America hasn't been the best place as far as ideology. But when it comes to freedom, there's been no better place in the world. When it comes to the individual having freedom, America is unmatched. There's not a place in the world where an individual has freedom like they do in America. Freedom to be scammed, freedom to be stolen from, freedom to protect from being stolen from, freedom, freedom to pray, freedom not to pray, freedom to do just about any and everything, good or bad. And we've enjoyed that freedom for far too long. And now they want it back. Now the government is growing at an exponential rate. The government is so large because they're going to continue to grow until they can stop you, the individual. America's government will not stop its growth until the citizen is crushed. That's what government does. That's why you're supposed to keep government small so the citizen can have the power. But as government grows, and the citizen stays with the same amount of power and the government gets more power, they're going to eat you. Big fish, small fish. It's all in nature if you look at it. When you look at me doing these garden videos, just know I don't believe a word coming out of any Black or white politician's mouth. I'd rather believe a person that's not a politician than believe a politician, because when they get there, and I don't care how much you like them, when they get there, it's over for you. You may think, and I'm not going to say anybody's name because that's how you get blocked. Any of your most loved politicians, whether they be Republican or Democrat, you think they're saying the thing that you like to hear. Oh, they do it right down there. That's where I want to be. You can go down there if you want, but you're going to find eventually the same thing. This would have never happened if such and such was in office. That's what they want you to think. I can't wait till he get back in office because then this will never happen. That's what they want you to think. To give you that opposition, to give you that the government is against him because they know he wouldn't allow this. That's what they want you to think. That's the blinding fog that the prophet was speaking about. That's the blinding fog that the prophet was speaking about, because it's so cloudy that you think if this person was in office, you're trying to look, you can't, it's not reality because that person isn't in office. But they leave that veil over your face to make you think if that person was in office, you might would have had a chance. So you're angry with the world. You're angry with everybody that voted for this other person. You're angry with all the people that support these other people, because if your person would have been voted in, the world wouldn't be like this. If your person would have been voted in, America wouldn't be like this. That's the way they try to make you think. If they just would have voted for such and such, we wouldn't have to deal with this. That's the blinding fog. You can't prove that. If you can't prove it, it doesn't exist. I think I said what Tony is saying. I've said that so many times. I think it's 635 altogether, I believe. You can start adding with all these other CDCs and FDAs and IRS people and Federal Reserve. How is it that a country of 330 plus million, that's not counting the undocumented people, can be run by 635? Something is strange about that. That we have to, I ain't said 100,000 people and we run by 600 people. I said 330 million people have to live by the policies of 600 people. Or how they do it, how many people on the Supreme Court? They'll just say, well, we're going to the Supreme Court with it. It's even less. So now I got to live my life based off this 12 people that's sitting on the Supreme Court, based off the 8, however many people they got now. They're going to start adding and adding. Off of the few little people that's sitting on the Supreme Court, I got to live my life based off of the decisions that they coming up with that change every 10, 20 years. They change their decision. Oh, somebody say 9. There you go. I don't even pay attention to this stuff anymore. And that's my honest truth. I won't lie and tell y'all I'm always watching. Some of this stuff I can turn my TV on, God spare my life, 10 years from now, and it'll be the same stuff. Do you even understand? You can just start at Bill Clinton. Nothing has ever changed since that. Bill Clinton, Republicans against Democrats, Newt Gingrich, John Boehner, whoever, whatever this other guy is, Democrat guy, it's all the same, right? Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, Donald Trump, Storm, or whatever the girl's name is, the porn star. It's all the same stuff. You don't believe it's all the same stuff? Go back to the 60s. John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe, Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, Donald Trump, whatever the other porn star is. It's no difference. It's just something to keep y'all going. Something to keep the people going while they doing all Stormy Daniels. There you go. That's how they do. Same distractions. Same things over and over and over and over. And we don't see it over and over and over because that wasn't in our lifetime. That was what our parents, that's what they gave our parents to eat on. The stuff that was going on with John F. Kennedy, that was my grandfather's time. That's what they gave my grandfather and them to eat on. The stuff that was going on in 92 with Bill Clinton, that was my dad's time. That's what they gave them to eat on. The stuff that's going on now, Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels, that's what they're giving me to eat on. You give it another 10 years, they're going to be giving my son something to eat on. All of which makes no sense. I don't care who nobody's sleeping with. Show me the policies. All of y'all are sleeping with somebody. All of y'all women, all of y'all men, married, not married, divorced, adultery, everybody in America is doing something. I don't care who nobody is sleeping with. That's not even news to me. Show me the policies, how they affect American lives day to day. He can sleep with 1,000 Stormy Daniels. Does that make him a better president? He can sleep with 1,000 Monica Lewinskis. Does that make him a better or worse president? I don't care who nobody's sleeping with. How shallow must we be? Here go another one. How shallow to where you'll vote for somebody based off who somebody said they slept with? How many men and how many women have you slept with? You are virgins? You mean to tell me everybody walked to that poll is a virgin? No, I don't have any moderators because I don't want nobody to stop somebody from speaking. I don't make my decisions off who I like and who I support based off what goes on in the privacy of their home and the privacy of somebody else's home. My decisions are based off of what have you done for the American people. When you come out of that bed, when you come out of that uh, hotel and you step into those Senate chambers, show me what you voted on. When you step outside of the Senate chambers, you can do what you want. When you walk inside of that Senate and that House of Representatives, show me your vote. Oh, he ain't never slept. Oh, this man, he's never slept with anybody outside of his wife. He's never done anything wrong. But look at his votes. Look how we vote against the American people. What's his stand on the amendments, on the First Amendment? What's his stand on the Second Amendment? How has he been voting in relation to those amendments? But they'll show you a good pressed up, buttoned up politician, and you're supposed to go with that. And that's why I say the morning is coming. The morning is coming is because people are being woken, right? Everybody's being awoken. Everybody's woke. Woke, 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 woke. But as those people are waking up, we're finding that they're still blind. We're finding that they're waking up with bad information. We're finding that they're waking up after a whole night of being filled with lies. And when you think they should be having all this good information at their fingertips and they should be going out to make the world better, their wokeness is making the world worse. Their wokeness is really sleepwalking. Their wokeness is really walking around in a fog that's actually worse than walking around at night. I want y'all to take care of yourselves. I got a family to take care of. I'm sure y'all got families to take care of. I want you to pray for the peace of your family and your friends and your neighbors, because your neighbors are going to be hard to live with. Your neighbors are going to be hard to deal with. The worst time in the world. I wish I knew where to tell you to go. I wish I knew where to tell you to run to. But I'm mighty afraid there's nowhere to go. I'm mighty afraid there's not many places to run to. I'm afraid that I know we telling people build communities, get with your neighbors. Your neighbor's not going to want to have community with you. Your neighbor's not going to want to hang out with you. Your neighbor's not going to want to prep. Your neighbor's not going to want to homestead. Your neighbors are not going to want to run the garden or run a community garden. They're not. When they look at your house and they see all the stuff you're doing, the only thing that your neighbor is thinking is how I can steal that from him. The only thing they're thinking is I'll kill him for that. They're not thinking to do it for themselves. They're looking at what you're bringing in your house. They're looking at what you're growing. And all they're saying is what they're going to do to you to get what you got instead of help you build more. So in my conclusion, I said this 30 minutes ago. I didn't know I went on this long. What's going on, Jamez? In my conclusion, I'm going to give you one, bro. In my conclusion, I hope that you're not fooled when things get slightly better. I hope that they don't take you by surprise by letting things get a little bit better. And then you're going to say, whew, I'm glad that's over. Because like a coward after a fight, like a coward after the bell has sounded, as soon as you turn your back, they're going to throw a haymaker. Just like a coward, they're going to hit you when you're not looking. That's why I want you to know that though it seems as though the morning is coming, that there's something so treacherous on the way behind it. Undeniably evil right behind it. And I'm not a prophet. I'm just a watchman. I'm just a person that looks at the world. I look at history. I look at the present world and I see where I think the future is leading us. And that's why I'm telling you, just like that watchman said thousands of years ago, I'm telling you the morning is coming. But so is the night. Thank y'all. God bless you. I hope God keeps you in his care. If you don't know where to go, I guess that's the only place you can go is to his arms. I think the only place you can go when they say run, like run where, you got to run to his arms. Because if you say the man that watches his house watches in vain, except the Lord keeps him. That means your strength and all your prepping, all your guns, all your ammunition is in vain, except the Lord is there with you to hold you and to watch over you. So my prayer is that the Lord keeps you, that the Lord keeps me. Y'all pray for me, and I'm going to pray for y'all. I know this was a long one, but I had to get that out. Um, to everybody on the next one, I'm gonna get in the chats. I couldn't get in the chats today, besides a couple of those spammers I saw in. But on the next one, I'm gonna get in the chat. And I saw most people, but I just didn't have time to respond. So just know that I'm with you when you don't feel that somebody understands what you're seeing. And a lot of people send me those emails all the time, and you think that I don't know what's going on, but you don't have to send me those emails because I see it too. Like send them to somebody else that don't see it. Y'all load me down with those emails. I see it. I'm just not saying anything, but I see it. Just send them to people that you think don't see it. I want you to know that I see it. And that's how it is. So thank y'all for watching. I gotta get out of here. Like I say, we all got families to run. Don't forget, watch a sermon today. Matter of fact, just type in that sermon and put in Watchman What of the Night sermon, CL Franklin. Let me put that in the chat. Let this be your church. If you're not going to church, even after you come from church, listen to that sermon. Listen to that sermon right there. And that'll expound on everything I was trying to tell you today. That'll help you. Y'all be good. God bless you. And I'll catch you on the next one. And as always, in all areas of life, not just in the garden, in all areas of life, grow, grow, grow. Peace.